And we are back for another week. It's so good to be back with you all. We're so thankful that you're a part of our night tonight. And we start our podcast by hoping that everyone is staying safe out on the roads. Welcoming everyone to the United Podcast. We are live tonight from John Russell Brewery in downtown Erie, just off of Peach Street and off of Interstate 79. I'm Isaac Petcash. Thanks so much for being with us. We got a great show planned for you all in the loft tonight of John Russell Brewery. It's a wonderful venue, a beautiful place, and nowhere better we'd rather be than to be with you this evening, bringing you the United Podcast. In case you're new to the show, this podcast is all about Gannon Athletics, the student-athlete stories, the coaching insights, the behind-the-scenes little fun social media segments, and more. Everything that you could want to get the scoop on Gannon Athletics and what's going on, we have it for you here tonight. Busy show this evening. We have so much to get to, including a pair of incredible events coming up this weekend. Of course, Swim Senior Day is on Saturday. We'll be talking to head coach Milan Meadow and senior Malachi Boyle, who will both be taking part in Senior Day on Saturday. And of course, it's PSAC 75 weekend for Gannon at our basketball games. 8 individuals who were part of the Gannon great athletic tradition, especially during the time of the PSAC, will be honored with PSAC 75 honorees coming up on Saturday at halftime of the women's basketball game. So let's show you what we have for our show this evening. Of course, like we mentioned, men's and women's swimming going to join us. It's Senior Day on Saturday. We'll get into more of that in just a couple of minutes' time. We'll also preview PSAC 75 weekend and the games that go with it. The ceremony itself is going to be great, but the games are going to be even better. Women's basketball, of course, is a matchup of 2 top 10 teams, the 5th-ranked Golden Knights, the 8th-ranked IUP Crimson Hawks. And for men's basketball, they are right in neck and neck with IUP for the top of the conference lead in the PSAC West, so it should be 2 really good games. And, of course, we'll have our top 5 plays, Dish of the Day, which is coming up in just a moment, and so much more. A couple of cool social media segments for you as well. So as we get started with our show tonight, we're talking to head coach Milan Meadow in just a moment. Before that, though, let's go ahead and give you our dish of the day as another great flatbread is coming your way. All right, our dish of the day today is continuing with the flatbread theme, because these flatbreads at John Russell Brewery and John Russell Hospitality are nothing short of absolutely amazing. The Jamaican jerk flatbread is our dish of the day today. I'm going to put it here so everybody can see it in just a moment here. I got to get my microphone in one hand and the flatbread in another. Everything you could possibly want, right? If you're a fan of this type of cuisine on a flatbread, pineapple, chicken, haven't had one of these that aren't good yet. We had our pickle pizza last week here at the brewery. That was delicious, and the flatbread just as good. So make sure to get down to the brewery and get one today while supplies last. The Jamaican jerk flatbread, our dish of the day, and we have one every week at John Russell Hospitality. We would like to thank John Russell Hospitality for being our premier sponsor for this podcast each and every single week. We love going to their locations. We love tasting their food, getting to talk to John Melody as we did last week, and more. John Russell Hospitality, our premier sponsor for the United Podcast.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
All right, let's talk swimming, shall we, as we come back from that little break. Senior Day on Saturday. Men's and women's swimming, both in action in a tri-meet. Malone and Oberlin, the 2 teams that are coming in from the state of Ohio to face the Golden Knights. And it's the first meet back from break. Gannon took, of course, that winter break, as many teams did. No meets for a couple of months, but they're back in action on Saturday. And we can't wait. Going to be an exciting event. 1 o'clock is the start of the meet, but Senior Day begins at 12:45 p.m. with the 9 seniors that will be honored, one of which is right next to me here, multiple program record holder Malachi Boyle, who is, I'm sure, ready to get back into the thick of things after about a 2-month-long break. It's not a break for you guys, but a break from meets. What's that excitement level like to be back in the pool on Saturday, senior day aside, because you finally get to have an official competition coming in?
It's exciting to swim in our pool again. Obviously, where we went for midseason is a very nice pool, but me and a lot of people on the team think that Gannon's pool is one of the fastest ones that we swim at every year. So we're looking to not only break a few pool records, because at this point right now, we're all feeling like we're able to, especially after training last week. But we're excited to end out the season at home. Not end out the season, but end out our home meets with a pretty exciting and fast meet.
So I'm curious, when you say that your pool is fast, and we hear this from a lot of you, right? When I talk to you in practice and others and Coach Milan, they say, look, we feel like our pool is one of those that we can get some pool records, we can swim some NCAA cut times, right? What makes a pool faster than another? I'm just genuinely curious, and I'm sure the viewing public is as well.
So there's multiple factors that go into it. One of the main ones is pool temperature. The swimmers, at least on our team, like to keep the pool pretty cold compared to a lot of the pools.
Pools are always cold, aren't they?
Not always. Sometimes, like you want to, ideally for swimming, you'd want a pool to be like mid to low 70s for like fast swimming. Some pools will keep them higher for like aerobics or like therapeutic stuff,
sure.
But so we keep our pool colder than a lot of pools, and also it's home field advantage, like we get on the block, we know where we are. We've done starts off the block every day for me 4 years. The walls are nice and like they're not slick, but they're like not too like grippy, so like you don't get stuck. So like it's a lot of like you're used to the pool, but you're also like pools will vary in temperature. They'll vary in like different like chemical compositions, and a lot of the time ours is mostly chlorine. It's a lot of the time we're used to swimming in that, so we can swim pretty fast in it.
Let's talk about the season so far. You talked about just a moment ago how you have a chance, you believe, to maybe set some pool records, and that's exciting. You've already done that on both sides of the team this year. You've had a couple of great relays that have tied program records. Maria Melnick smashed nearly, I feel like, every record that she swam on the women's side in just her first year. You've had a great start to the season. But, of course, we know the back half and this last month leading up to PSAC championships is really where the rubber meets the road. What have you liked from the first part of the season, and what do you think lies ahead for the back half as you're about a month away now from conference championships?
So in the first half of our season, we were very consistent with our times. So pretty much every meet, we were right on where we were like the previous meet. And like even at midseason, we didn't drop a significant amount for midseason in terms of time. And everyone's excited to swim again. We've had a break from like meets, and at least on the men's side, everyone is incredibly competitive. So that's also going to lead into part of it, is we just like to go fast.
This is the time of the year where it is intense, right? Because we just mentioned what you have on the horizon between conference championships. And I know there's a lot of excitement at the potential for many of you to compete at nationals this year as well. You last year didn't get a chance to have a full season, battling some injuries. You get to come back this year and really be the focal point, one of the focal points of the men's team. For you, what's that hunger like again this year, knowing that it's one ride as a senior to potentially get to nationals?
It's a pressure. I'm really ready to go. I am actually on pace for like pretty good time this weekend. And then I have very consistent competition, especially in like the most recent national cut I've had, which is a 2 breast, because both Dylan Ray and Idar are right on me like all the time. So like in practice, we practice together. We just race all the time. So I want to go because the first 2 years I swam and got my cuts, I was right on the cusp of the qualifying. So, well, I qualified, but like I was right on the cusp of
Right.
the invite. So this year I'm hoping to get that.
And it's milliseconds. It's amazing to me. Swimming is one of the sports that you don't have to dabble in hypotheticals, right? You know what your time is, or you know you made it, or you know you didn't, and it's just such a thin line of what it takes to be able to get there. That's then this is now. I do want to ask you before we bring on your teammate Hannah in just a second. What has it been like to get to experience this swimming program with the other 8 seniors that you'll be with coming up on Saturday, and we'll be honoring you and 8 others? I'm sure probably a sentimental moment knowing that you get one last hurrah in your home pool.
It is definitely a sentimental moment, and me and all the other seniors that are graduating this year have swam through some intense like coaching changes, intense practices. Like we've been together through thick and thin, and we're ready to go fast this weekend because it's the last time we're going to swim in front of majority of our friends because we'll be in New York for PSAC, so it's a bit of a drive.
Sure is, especially in weather like this. Hopefully it's not as snowy and chaotic in February, but I mean, it's eerie. You never know. Malachi, man, I appreciate you coming out. Best of luck on Saturday. We can't wait to celebrate.
Thank you.
All right, if Hannah Jacobs wants to join us for a minute as well, she is one of the women's swimming seniors that will be honored on Saturday as Gannon again takes on Malone and Oberlin. Hannah, I can't believe that we're already into mid-January. This is absolutely ridiculous. You're probably looking at this and thinking to yourself, where the heck is time gone? Do you ever feel that way, that you look back and you think, man, I'm in my senior year, I've been doing this for a while? Does that feeling ever come to you where you're like, where's time gone?
Yeah, absolutely. It does. I think you put in the bulk of the work every day, day in and day out, and then you kind of don't realize how the time passes. And all of a sudden now we're at PSACs and ready to go fast. So
what has made your time at Gannon so special? We heard from Malachi that it's a bittersweet moment because you are obviously have more competitions after this Saturday, but it's your last one in your home pool. What has this time at Gannon meant to you and being able to be with your teammates here in your years in the pool?
It's meant plenty to me. So obviously it's been our home for the last 4 years. We see these people and our teammates and coaches every day, and just to meet them and to be part of such a good, hard-working group has really meant a lot to me. So to know that now we're shortly moving on from our home, it is bittersweet, but definitely looking forward to some fast swims this week.
So let's talk about this weekend, because both of you have said, we think we're going to swim fast. We expect to be on our P's and Q's, for lack of a better word, this Saturday after a bit of a break from meets, but you've been practicing, of course. What are the expectations for Saturday, and how do you feel like you can test yourself this weekend, knowing it's your first meet back?
We absolutely are looking to swim fast. So we've been focusing on this meet sort of from the end of last season. We want to open with some fast times and, just building up going into PSACs, having that encouragement that we can put times on paper. Like Malachi said, I definitely agree that the pool is fast, and we've put in the hard work these past 2 weeks, and now it's a little bit easier going into this meet so that we can be on form.
I want to ask you about the season that happens after Saturday. Your team had a top half finish at PSACs last year. The men's team had a great finish coming in second. This program clearly is on the meteoric rise. I mean, within a couple of years, we're going to see consistent national championship presence, if not this year. Do you sense that this program is at a level where you could really break that ceiling? And if so, what has it meant to get to be a part of that program? And where do you think this swim program goes after your senior season?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think our programs, really, this is the beginning. So our freshman class coming in, obviously Maria Melnick's been great, and a couple of the other freshmen have been fantastic too. And then the current swimmers on the team are also kind of propelling this team forward and improving in like leaps and bounds. I think the coaching changes have had a lot to do with that. And so it's very encouraging to see where this team's going to end up. And I'm glad I got to see just a taste of it.
Okay, I know this is senior day, but Maria's just a freshman, but I have to ask, what is it like working with her in the pool? Because she has been an absolute star so far in this year.
Yep, she is incredible in racing and in training. I think I remember seeing her relay when she went under 50 seconds. That was a standout moment for me in the season. Just, watching my teammates do something like that is nothing I've ever actually seen before. So,
what would be something, as we wrap this up, you're one of 9 that will be honored on Saturday. It's a great group. It's one that's been together for a long time. What will be your words of encouragement to Maria and some other underclassmen as you depart Gannon? I know you're not leaving yet, but words of encouragement that you maybe leave with them in future years as they try to continue this great success the program has had in the last few seasons.
No, look, just to keep working hard and to have fun, to trust the process. It is a process and there'll be some ups and downs, but they're definitely whatever they want to achieve, I think they're capable of. And so just to really enjoy it and be present in the moment, give it all they've got.
Senior recognition, fast times, a lot of excitement for Saturday. Hannah, we can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Best of luck on Saturday. And again, congratulations on a great career so far.
Thank you so much.
All right, swimming senior day. We'll talk to Milan in just a moment.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
Well, while our swimmers dig into the Jamaican jerk flatbread, in which they'll probably eat in about 3 seconds because they burn about 3,000 calories a day swimming in what their training regimen is, let's show you what's on tap. We kind of foreshadowed a bit of it already. Of course, swimming senior day begins at 1 o'clock, the meet specifically, but at 12:45, we'll begin our senior day festivities. There'll be 9 seniors that are honored on the men's and women's side. Just a great group, incredible group. Those 2 will be a part of it between Hannah and Malachi and others. So make sure to come early, stay late for the tri-meet. We'll have 17 events plus diving as Gannon takes on Malone and Oberlin Saturday afternoon at the Gannon Recreation and Wellness Center pool. Also on Saturday is PSAC 75, so maybe you jump back and forth because we have a lot of exciting events that are happening in the Highmark Events Center. PSAC 75 ceremony is at halftime during the women's game. We previewed that a lot last week. If you missed our conversation with Lo Myrick, who will be one of the 8 honorees that we'll honor on Saturday, you can go back onto our YouTube page and our social media channels and view the latest episode of the podcast. Games, though, are also incredibly important. Women's game is 5 versus 8 in the country. IUP is coming in undefeated. Gannon women have not lost since the second game of the season, and they're ranked 5th. That's going to be an absolute stunner of a game. Cannot wait for the 1 o'clock tip. Then men's basketball follows it up. Easton Bozzoli's squad got a huge win on Wednesday against Seton Hill in blowout fashion, and now they take on a very tough IUP team on the men's side. Winner of that game will continue to at least have a share of the PSAC West lead heading into the latter part of January. So that's exciting. Both games, of course, at home at 1 and 3 o'clock with PSAC 75 ceremony in between there at halftime of the women's game. Not to be overshadowed, men's wrestling back in action tomorrow. They start PSAC play themselves Friday with a dual meet against Shippensburg. Saturday, they travel to Millersville for a noon start. So it's back-to-back dual meets for this men's wrestling team, ranked 3rd in the country by the open mat as of yesterday. Tom Boyd's squad just continues to roll and roll and roll. Speaking of rolling, we're rolling into more swim talk, more senior day swim talk. Head coach Milan Mado, his team's finally back. We just heard from 2 of your seniors, Milan, but you're back in the pool after about a 2-month break from meets. Of course, you've been practicing, but it seems like there's a lot of onus on this meet specifically on Saturday and the excitement of the opportunity to be quick in a quick pool. Is that your same feeling as well coming up on Saturday?
Yes, I agree. First off, I'm really grateful that we had a little bit of a refresher, a little bit of a break, but it got old very quickly. And I think everyone, including myself, were very excited to get back into the swing of things. Both myself and now my new assistant coach, Bill Bradley, we love being on the pool deck. The kids love being in the pool. We love working together, and we are really excited about Saturday because we want to give our seniors the best possible send off. Obviously, the absolute highlight of our season will come a little bit later in February, but this is a big meet for us.
So let's chat. Your new assistant coach didn't ask the two seniors, didn't get a chance to, but Bill Bradley comes in from Fredonia. He has lots of head coaching experience. And when watching you in practice today, the two of you seem like you play off each other so well. You really love coaching together. What does he bring to this team for the second half of the season that is an added element, if you will, for the team this year?
I think Bill brings a lot of experience to the table, a great personality that matches really well to mine. And I think with all the kids, the kids' personalities, their characters make us both really excited to be part of this team, to be coaching from the deck. And we feed off each other's energies. And it's just a great group of people to be around.
And you get a chance now to add him for the second half stretch run of the season. Of course, this starts with Saturday. Let's look back at the first half of the year. You had a lot of records broken. You had a lot of really fast relays and successful team finishes. What do you make of the first part of the year, and how do you assess that going into the second half of the season to where your teams are at this moment?
Yes, it was definitely an exciting first part of the season. Just like Malachi said earlier, we were quite consistent when it came to our performances during the first few dual meets. We had a very solid showing once again, just like last year, back-to-back champions at our midseason invite in Canton. We're just trying to build off of that. We know when our peak is coming. It's not this weekend. We will be swimming fast this weekend, but it's just going to be getting better and better. Come mid to late February and potentially in March, we will be swimming fast.
It's great you mentioned potentially in March, because I think we all believe that potentially it's never a guarantee, but it certainly seems like there's a great opportunity to see a lot of swimmers competing in March. You told me before the season began, and when you came on the podcast a few weeks back, that you felt this team had the depth, the experience, and the talent to be able to get to the national competition. You just missed out on some individuals from last year. Where do you foresee that potential for nationals right now? Because it certainly appears that you have some individuals and relays that are right on that line to get to nationals this season.
Yes, looking at the rankings, purely at the rankings right now, the top two ranked individuals are Maria Melnick and Jakub Loboda. Both of them are ranked. In Jakub's case, it's top 30 in Division 2. In Maria's case, it's top 20, 16 to be exact. So it's looking really good for her. Jakub has a little bit more work to do, but nothing is impossible. He's right there. It's only a few tenths away. We are in a sport where we have to rely on the elements that we don't. Us specifically, we spend a lot of time in it, but it doesn't always go your way specifically. And just like you spoke to Malachi earlier, many different pools bring many different performances, many different times. So you can prime your body, you can perform at the best possible level, but you also need to have a fast pool to swim those times.
You yourself were an incredible swimmer back in your day in college, and you have a great team now. Swimming is, as you know, it's a sport of you taper at the end. You have to build your way up that mountain and not peak early. It's easier said than done, I can imagine. What's the challenge in a meet like, say, Saturday, that you don't go out and burn off too much of your energy or peak in that moment? What's the challenge in balancing that? Because I feel like it's probably easier said than done.
I will do a quick shout out to Coach Rob in cross country, because he definitely understands, and his athletes as well, what it means to taper and what it means to go through a long, grueling season and try and peak at the right moments. And there's not just one moment. If it was one moment, it'd be a little bit easier. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of trust in your coach, a lot of trust of the coaches into our swimmers, and with the belief and the dedication and the hard work, you do put a little bit of hope in there, but we are very confident that we know how to peak at the right time. And given the right pool, given the right equipment, we will be performing very fast. And everyone is just excited to finally have that large load of yardage and pounds that we lift in the weight room taken off our shoulders, so we can finally start resting in a few weeks and perform really fast in the pool.
Coach Rob was at national championships this year. The hope is that you will also be, and that would be very exciting. Of course, the historic moment from Emily Bowers and swimming looking to equal that as well with multiple swimmers at national championships. But let's focus on Saturday for just a moment, Coach. 9 seniors and just an incredible group of people. We spoke to 2 of them. All of them are unique in their own way, but they all bring something great to the team. I'd love if you just take me through what this group has meant to you, and a group that you've gotten to spend a couple of years with, and I'm sure has left a great mark on your heart and your coaching status.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. When I had technically my second group of seniors, because this is my last year was my first year at Gannon, but second year as a head coach. So I graduated my second group of seniors first year at Gannon, and those seniors that graduated last year meant a whole lot to me. I got to spend less than a year with them, and I had strong feelings about them leaving. We miss them dearly. Same thing for this group. I would say even more so. Not to diss last year's group, but I did spend a year extra with the current year of seniors. So you get more time to create more memories and connect a little bit more. Each and every individual has unique qualities, unique characteristics that they bring to the table, and every one of them will be sorely missed next year.
What about for you, as in what's now your second season as head coach? We've seen this team have incredible numbers and success from a season ago. You're off to a great start this year. What do you feel like the trajectory of this team can be both this year and years to come? Because, I called it a meteoric rise. I really don't think that that's hyperbole. I think it's the truth. Did you ever expect to have this sort of success and maybe even this much fun early on in your coaching tenure here?
Well, I think very early on in my tenure at Gannon, or basically as soon as I got to know the swimmers, I knew that this was going to be a very fun journey. As the season progressed last year and this year, I realized how much talent and potential we truly have on the pool deck. And, we may bring some qualities to the table, myself and Bill, but if we don't have dedicated athletes, then, that work will go for naught. And luckily, the group of athletes that we have under our belts is incredible, and we expect the greatest things possible.
Especially for the seniors who will be honored before the meet. And then when we get into the meet, it's a tri-meet. Oberlin and Malone coming from Ohio. And there's going to be a lot of events as well. 17, I believe, if that's correct. So lots of opportunities to get to see lots of great talent and swimmers in the pool, diving as well. Give us a bit of an insight as to maybe what we can expect from Saturday. I know fast times is the hope, but what's the outlook for Saturday when you start the meet following senior day at 1:00?
Bring lots of water to hydrate. Bring some snacks. It's going to be a long one. Usually a long meet is 16 events. Right now it's going to be 17 events. It's going to be 2 teams. The other 2 teams will be diving. We will not be. So, expect at least 3.5 hours. Might stretch out to being 4 hours, but we'll see. We'll try to be as efficient as possible. Obviously, the swimmers from our team, from Oberlin, from Malone, will contribute to going this meet as quickly as possible, because everyone will be trying to swim their fastest times. But, it will be a lot of fun. There will be some breaks. So, get comfortable in your seats.
Listen, you have nothing to complain about. Gannon fans' calendars are blocked off from noon to 6 on Saturday already between your meet from PSAC 75. So you take all the time you need. We can't wait for Saturday. Again, senior day starts at 12:45. So get to the pool early so you can get a chance to honor and recognize these 9 great seniors. And then the meet at 1:00 against Malone and Oberlin. Malone, we're excited to watch this team finally back after a couple of month break, and can't wait to see what the second half of the season has in store.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
All right, back here on the podcast, couple of rankings to get to before we move forward in the show. Top 5 plays of the week still on deck in just a few minutes' time. We also have a couple of fun social media segments to get to as well. Weekly rankings coming in for women's and men's basketball. We just mentioned the women ranked number 5 in the country in the WBCA NCAA D2 coaches poll. And the men not far behind. They clock in at 13th this week in the NABC rankings. So very exciting. Both teams within the top 15 and huge matchups on Saturday against IUP in what will be a conference doubleheader for the ages starting at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Other rankings to get to: men's wrestling sitting 3rd, 7th in the team duel rankings for the open mat rankings as of this week. Dylan Walker, who you see pictured, had a couple of huge wins, especially in that win against Lake Erie in the dual meet back last weekend. Men's wrestling back in action against Shippensburg tomorrow and Millersville on Saturday. 18th is where women's wrestling chimes in after an NCAA national dual appearance that saw them get a win on Friday. The women's wrestling team back in action coming up next week at the Journeyman Women's Duels. Excited for that one. Another big national spotlight event for Coach Aaron Vandiver and the Golden Knights. As we mentioned, tonight's dish of the day is the Jamaican Jerk Flatbread. You can get that at John Russell Brewery each and every single day that they are open. Another great dish of the day. Just so delicious. So many great items on there, including some chicken and pineapple. Always a good combo. You can get that today at John Russell Brewing. And a reminder, our PSAC 75 ceremony takes place at halftime of the women's basketball game coming up on Saturday. The game starts at 1 o'clock sharp. These 8 former Gannon greats, both student athletes and other administrators, will be honored, 5 of which will be returning to the campus of Gannon University. Of course, Megan Morphy, Colin Peterson, already staff on our athletic administration, our athletic director, Megan Morphy, and our women's soccer coach, Colin Peterson. We'll also have a few others who are former Gannon greats that will be joining us as well as part of the PSAC 75 ceremony that takes place at halftime. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And make sure that you are there following this Swim Senior Day presentation. Looking forward to that as well. Hey, by the way, we've been advertising it all year, and we'll tell you again in case you haven't heard. Our golden ticket giveaway continues throughout the entirety of the 2025-2026 season. Every single time that you come to the United Podcast Live in person and you show proof of purchase, you get a ticket to enter into an opportunity to win free season tickets for an entire season. Next year, free football season tickets, free basketball season tickets, and reserve seating at every Gannon Athletics event this year. That is part of our golden ticket giveaway. All you have to do, show up in person at our podcast each and every single week. We're at the John Russell Brewery throughout the month of January and throughout the month of February. All right, let's get into some fun, creative segments for the show. Our thanks to head coach Milan Mato and a couple of his Gannon Swim seniors for joining us on the podcast tonight. So excited to have them back for their final home meet of the season. Speaking of home meets, swim in action on Saturday. So is men's and women's basketball. The women's team has been on a roll. They have not lost since their second game of the season, and they just got a big dominant win over Seton Hill on Wednesday, and what's their 5th win in almost a calendar year against the Griffins. They're great on the floor, but are they good at naming songs? Have you ever heard that the game show Name That Tune? The one that you can decide whether or not you think you can name a song in so many notes. Well, last night we did a segment with women's basketball following their game against Seton Hill. Actually, this is before the game against Seton Hill, before they tipped off, of Name That Tune. A couple of great competitors in this game, and the question is, who can name the most songs in the fewest amount of seconds that the song is played? It's a fun one. We call Name That Tune. Take a look.
Time for Name That Tune, where we see which player can name the song in the fewest amount of seconds. Today's matchup, Carissa Dunham against Bella Deer.
Okay, I'm starting with 6.
Okay, I'll go 5.
Okay, 4.
I can't go lower than that. All right, go ahead, Bella.
So, Bella, you get 4 seconds.
Crap. Is it Kiss It Better? Dang. Oh. I don't think I got that one. Oh, that was an easy one. All right, I'll go 5. I have 4. That was a lot of time. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I don't think I can get it in 4.
So I go first.
Or 3. Oh, good song. I can think of the artist again, but I can't think of it.
Shut Up and Dance with Me.
Is it Best Song Ever by One Direction?
Oh, that wasn't even close.
Is there any confidence left between the two of you right now?
I have a little bit.
I think I have none left.
5.
I'll go 4.
Tapping it.
Baby by Justin Bieber.
Hey, let's go!
Okay, I'll go with 6. 5. I'll go 4.
I'm going 3. I got nothing to lose right now.
I'll risk it. I'm gonna go 2.
Nope. I know this one.
I've got nothing.
You have no clue?
No.
Halo.
Nice!
Let's go.
Bella, that was good. Dang, I did not
What
get
has
that.
gotten them off of steal so far?
6. 5. 4.
I'll go 3.
Nope.
You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift.
Gosh darn. Is
I
that
already guessed that one.
Oh, come on.
Good job. Yeah. Let's go, Swifties.
Carissa Dunham with the win and Name That Tune. We'll see if we make that into a series with women's basketball. A couple of the people who were behind, Olivia Pepple, I think Olivia Cernudo was back there as well. But they all said they could have done a better job. So we'll see. Maybe it turns into a tournament. But if there is a tournament, Carissa Dunham is the leader of the clubhouse for Name That Tune. So excited to continue our fun social media segments again. All of our great social media segments you can find it on our social media channels as well as our YouTube channel, Gannon Athletics. All right, almost time for our top 5 plays of the week. Before we get to that, though, of course, we want to thank John Russell Hospitality, as always, for being our premier sponsor for the United Podcast. Multiple restaurant locations in and around the Erie area. We're here at the John Russell Brewery tonight and through the month of February. So excited to showcase all of our restaurants that are part of the John Russell Hospitality Group. John Russell Hospitality, our presenting sponsor for United Podcast.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
All righty, time for our top 5 plays of the week. To close our show tonight, it's our top 5 plays of the week here on the United Podcast. Every single week, we showcase the top 5 plays that were captured by our cameras. Just had basketball between Thursday night from last week and Thursday of this week, but we got 5 good ones from the Seton Hill doubleheader last night. So let's showcase them to you right now. It's our top 5 plays of the week. We start with number 5. This is the defense of Cleve Wright's women's basketball team, and it starts with Maddie Wheatley and Tori Mays forcing the turnover. Then Maddie cans the 3. The Aussie can shoot, no doubt. We've seen that all season long. Wheatley first, combining with Mays for the turnover. Tori had a great game last night at the point guard position, and then Maddie catch and shoot. Up it goes. Nylon it splits. Golden Knights, big victors. We'll have more plays from women's basketball from this game in the top 5. Let's go to the men's side at number 4. Mason Kemp does a lot of things well, but he's a rim rattler at heart. Take a look going up for the 5 slamma-jamma as Mason Kemp off the bench was a big asset for the Golden Knights last night. Nearly everyone on the team scored for Gannon in the win over Seton Hill. Kemper, big dunk, big slam, big reaction. More from the men in just one moment. At number 3, Bree Claxon. I feel like this is the obligatory top 5 play here at this point. Little spinorama pull-up J for you over top of a pair of Seton Hill defenders. Nothing but nylon. Bree had a season high, 25 points in the win last night over Seton Hill. And, you know, when the going gets tough, which it really hasn't been for the women's team so far, well, tough get it going. Little nice one-handed touch. I think Bree could put on a basketball clinic for pull-up jumpers and it would be the most heavily attended in all of the country. Let's go to number 2, shall we? Pace Prosser is going to get the individual accolade on this. Let's start at the offensive end. Pace, pull up 3, no problem. That's not why this plays number 2, though. This is why it's number 2. Immediately afterwards, the swipe, the steal, and gets GU a free possession. This is what Coach Easton Bozzoli and the Golden Knights do so well. They make buckets, number 1, but then number 2, they get back and they get feisty on the defensive end. Look at Pace running all the way from side to side. Great eyesight, and then keeping it in, making sure the patrons are protected in the stands. That's the important part. Pace and the Golden Knights winners over Seton Hill. Here's number 1. How about Olivia Peppel? Off the bench, she does this so well. Putting the defenders in a spin cycle. Multiple black jerseys right in the paint. Pep says, I don't care. I got some pep in my step. Little left-hand fake, and then whoop, see you later. No chance for the defender. And Peppel finishing with the right hand. That earns our number 1 play of the week. We have a lot of great candidates next week as well, with swimming at home, basketball at home on Saturday, and more home events to come as well. Those have been your top 5 plays of the week for the week ending here on January 15th. Basketball and swimming, both at home on Saturday. That's going to do it for our show this evening. We want to thank all of you for being a part of the United podcast each and every single week. Happy to have live guests on every single week to talk Gannon sports and the stories behind the stories of our student athletes. Hannah Jacobs, as well as Malachi Boyle, who joined us tonight, will be one of 9 seniors that will be honored on Saturday for the men's and women's swimming program. Senior Day begins at 12:45 p.m. Meet begins at 1. Women's basketball game begins at 1. Halftime is when the PSAC 75 presentation begins. So if you're up for walking, start at the Carnival Athletic Pavilion pool, stay for Senior Day, then maybe head over for PSAC 75 ceremony, and then bounce back and forth between basketball and swimming. We'd love to have you at all of our athletic events on Saturday. Men's wrestling on the road as well, Friday and Saturday, not to discount Coach Tom Boyd and the great season that the men's team has had so far on the mats. We are back right here, same place, same time next week. Thursday, January 22nd at 6 o'clock continues our United podcast from John Russell Brewery. We're at this location throughout the month of January and the month of February. So we will see you all next Thursday. Make sure to be safe on the roads, everybody. Have a safe drive home from work if that's what you're doing a little bit later tonight. And if you're heading into work tomorrow, please be safe. It is treacherous out there. Let's hope for the snow to subside in the coming days. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. We'll see you on campus on Saturday for swimming and basketball and the PSAC 75 ceremony. Until then, see you back here for the next podcast next Thursday, same time, same place at 6 o'clock.